Hello, this is Victor, and in that video I will cover the psychic powers for Warhammer 40k 7 edition. So, first of all, I will not cover power by cover. I will try to give overview of the different disciplines, and I also want to show here in camera how the how the deck look like. So I think the deck is very nice. So you have the the printing is quite nice. They slide very easily, so it's quite nice card. Nice artwork. Each discipline have a different artwork at the back, and it goes presented in this small box. Okay, and then a part of the deck we have the quick reference table where it's telling you which each faction what powers they can use, what disciplines they can use. So now I'm going to start covering the different disciplines in the deck. And the first power that I want to cover is Force. So now these Force weapons are giving the power of Force to the Psyker that have the Force weapon, and it's just a blessing that makes the unit to have instant kill special rule. So it's not anymore ability of the weapon. Now it's a psychic power that you have to use at the psychic phase, and it's the only and it's not belonging to any deck or any mastery. It's just a lone psychic power that you take for free when you have a force weapon. Also to mention that the only army that cannot have force this power is demons. And let's start with the first discipline. It's Divination, the first I will cover. We have this nice artwork on the card. So Divination is mainly how it's called, a discipline that you want to pick if you want to support the shooting or support the hitting. I think it's mainly to support shooting units. Most of the, I think all of them except one are blessing, and there is one that is malediction, that what is causing that is your shooting is have rending to the unit that you send the malediction. A lot of powers to repeat the rolls to hit, to improve ballistic skill, to remove cover save. So it's mainly a deck or how it's called this powers that you want to use, a discipline that you want to use if you want to boost your shooting. So it's very good, for example, for Astra Militarum. Maybe it's also good for Space Marines. But I think the main objective for this is if you have low ballistic skill or you don't have very good ballistic skill like Astra Militarum, this is a perfect boost for this army. Biomancy discipline is a combination of powers to increase the profile of your psyker, and powers that are witch fire. So there are and also this power that is malediction, that is to make that is enfeeble, that is to reduce the strength and the toughness of your opponent. So I think this is very good, for example, for monstrous creature or for a psyker that is specialized in close combat, because then you can improve your strength, your toughness, or you have powers to increase also your initiative. So it's mainly focused to improve the resilience and the speed of your psyker, or you will have shooting powers. The shooting powers are not bad. So the primary power is Soul 4, Strength 4, AP 2, And then the Hemorrhage have improved a little bit versus 6th edition. So overall, is I think it's focused for if you have a psyker that have good abilities in close combat, and normally in these cases are um, demon princes, great demons, or maybe some chaos psyker with a good weapon to fight in close combat. I don't think if you have, for example, a psyker from Astro Militarum that have not a good power in close combat, I don't think it makes sense to have this type of powers on this type of psychers. So very specialized to improve your psyker in close combat and to have some shooting as well. Now we go into telekinesis. Telekinesis have 5 of the 7 powers are to attack your enemy. Most of them are witchfire attacks, and there is one malediction that is to put and to specialize against vehicles. So it's almost like a witchfire. And there are 2 blessings: one to give invulnerable saves, and another one to move your unit additional to make additional movement to your unit. I think this is a power for a cycle that you want to use to support units and mainly by shooting. I don't feel is one of the best disciplines here. And there's some interesting, but I see other disciplines that have much punch or have much better blessings on your units. So it's mainly a mixture between blessing and shooting. I'm more focused on shooting attacks. You have for example, the primaries for me is not very good. Um, the the crash is not bad, but it's very random. A lot of these powers are very random and depend a lot on the enemy you have in front because they don't have good AP. So if it's against, except the seeking milestone, that is the level 6, so the power that have 3 war checks and is the 6, is the only one that is really good. It's very low, short range. It strengthens AP1. It's mainly shooting, and then you have a couple of blessings to move units or to give invulnerable save to your units. I have the feeling that other disciplines like divination are doing much better job. Now we go to telepathy. Telepathy have some good powers. I think the best is invisibility, that is making that the unit that is under the effect can only be hit by snapshots, and in close combat is only hit with sixes. So it's a discipline that is mainly focused in messing up with the opponent. So the blessings is helping you or is protecting you from the shooting of your and the hits from your opponents, and the maledictions is trying to neutralize units for 1 turn by terrifying them or by making them hallucinate, and then they are doing other things that are not appropriate. It's not most of the powers are not doing direct damage to your opponent. It's more a discipline to support your units to protect the advancing. I think if you combine it with a good close combat unit, it can be very efficient because you can reduce the efficiency of shooting of your enemy while you're getting close to the enemy and then charge. Also very good for shooting because if your enemy cannot shoot back to you, you are quite well protected. So it's quite a good and strong discipline. Only one which fire, that is the primarist power, but if you have some of the maledictions and blessings that are here, I don't think you are going to take the primarist power unless you are focused cycle. Now we go into Pyromancy. Pyromancy is a discipline based on doing direct damage to your opponent. Most of the powers are witchfire of different types to do direct damage to your opponents, and there are 2 blessings to protect your units. So it's very curious discipline is mainly focused on causing damage to your opponent, but you also can, if you have skill level 3, but if you have one of the protection powers, also is very good. There is one that is giving 4 plus immunology save to the Psyker, and there is another one that the target have 4 plus cover save to all the enemies, and the enemies have to pass a dangerous terrain to be able to charge, because it represents that you create a wall of flames. So I think it's improved versus 6th edition. If you're looking for a Psyker that wants to cause direct damage to your opponent, is this. You have from a flamer to a beam with melta. So from a flamer to a melta, you have the different ways to cause damage with fire to your opponent. And now we go into Demonology. This is the drawing, the artwork, sorry. So Demonology have two different variants. You have the Sanctic and the Malefic. Sanctic cannot be used by demons, and Malefic cannot be used by Grey Knights. And on top of that, if Grey Knights are using Sanctic, they only have. So if anybody is using Demonology, they have perils from the warp with any double they throw. So if you throw 3 dice and you have a double 3, you have perils from the warp. So you have perils with any double, so it's making these two decks or disciplines quite dangerous if you are not Grey Knight or Demon, and we'll explain why. So if you are Grey Knight, you use this deck, this discipline as any other ones, so you only have perils with a double 6. And the powers here are mainly to fight against demons. So Sanctic have some direct damage, which fire powers, and one of them is very powerful. You have a power that is doing a D strength to the opponent with AP1, and then you have some maledictions and blessings to mainly to focus to fight against demons. So if you know that you are going to fight demons, I think this is a good discipline to take. If you're having Grey Knights, I think this is the best discipline for Grey Knights, together with Divination. I think if you combine this with Divination, you are in a very good shape. So you can have one Psyker using Demonology, you can have the units of Grey Knights now using Demonology, and then you have a couple of Inquisitors using Divination. Berin is quite powerful. There is a lot of type. You can have a lot of type of powers, from reducing the invulnerable state of the demons to the hammerhead that is the same as before, +2 strength to the unit. So interesting, but I will only recommend this discipline if you are a Grey Knight. The other armies or factions they have to take care, because to be able to do the Vortex of Doom, you need 3 warp charges. So that means that unless you have a 4, 5, and 6 in the success dice, you will have perils from the warp, because you will need any double. Though if you have a double 4 or double 5, you have perils from the warp. So interesting discipline, but I think I will only use this one if you are using Grey Knights. And I want to leave for the last one, Demonology Malefic. This is the artwork. Is the one that is more controversial today in the internet. There are appearing some lists to abusing of this discipline to summon demons, and because this discipline is mainly focused on summoning demons. Of the 7 powers, 4, if I'm not wrong, are summoning. So you have summoning, that is to summon units. Then you have sacrifice, that is a way to summon heralds. You have incursion, that you can summon screamers, plague demons, or big medium demons. Then you have possession, that is to summon a great demon. It's not that easy to summon, The warp charge is 3, except on sacrifice that is 1. But if you are not demon, it's almost for sure that you will have peril from the war. When you need, because if you are not demon, you have peril for if you have any double in your dice. You have them. If you are demon, then you only have peril. You have a double 6. But to summon, you need 3 warp charges. So if you are not demon, this means that to be successful and not having peril, you need a 4, a 5, and 6. If you don't have this result, or you fail, or you have a peril from the warp. Yeah, if you're spamming demons with powers, you can start spamming units on the table, but you need the units also to be represented. The other powers are a Witchfire, and then there are a couple of blessings to help on on your demons. I think there is, yeah, Curse Earth. That is, no, there are 2 shooting and one blessing for the demons. So it's I think a discipline only for demons, or if you want to sacrifice your psyker summoning demons. Most of the time, and I have to say also, possession will kill your psyker, will substitute your psyker by a great demon, or maybe it's nice to have. And sacrifice will kill one of your soldiers and substitute the soldier by a herald. And it's the only one that is the only one that only have war charge to summon. All the other summoning spells have war charge 3. And the shooting is only, and blessings are war charge 1. If you're not down, for example, curse earth is useless for you. So you have to substitute this by the primaris power. What means that I think this is mainly focused if you to play if you are demon or you are planning to summon demons. But this is all. So I hope you have been used. This has been useful. What I wanted to do is an overview of the different disciplines and to see what is the focus of each discipline. That's all for this video. Thanks a lot for watching and see you again later. Bye.